What's up, everyone? I just got back home from Iowa and I was greeted with a box I've been waiting for a while, and it is very special what's in there. It is the retooled time lapses. I have not seen or felt these yet, so I've been anticipating and looking forward to this for a while. But before we unbox, I have to show you something else from the basement, and that is today's sponsor, Averon. One of my favorite things this year has been reading comments about me looking happier and healthier out on the course, and that's partially thanks to a new habit. Check it out. I can be one of the laziest people when it comes to sticking to routines and working out. So let me show you how this machine helped me overcome this. This is gamified working out right here. You have apps on this. You can watch your favorite shows and movies. You have games you can play while running. You have competitions against AI or communities. I really have enjoyed coached classes. It kind of keeps you at it. Guided workout, and then if you're feeling walking through some nice scenery, you have all different kind of virtual landscapes you can run through, like meadows, beaches, mountains, canyons. It's really fun. Me living in Massachusetts, an indoor treadmill comes in absolutely clutch with the weather conditions outside. Not always pleasant. So if you want to check out Averon and get on it, then you can use code Simon50 to get an extra $50 off your order, and they have all the best prices online right now. So huge shout out, check them out, and back to the action. So first off, why did we retool the time lapse? First of all, I thought they were a bit too overstable, at least more overstable than I originally wanted them. And I also didn't love the feel of them. I found they had a pretty high shoulder, which for a 12 speed just wasn't really comfortable in my hand. I really wanted to bag a Simon line disc, of course. That's the whole point of this line, is that I throw it. So here is take 2, and maybe even take 3. I am not 100% sure what to expect in this box. All right, there's always the best moment, as any disc golfer knows, is opening a new box of discs. Wow. And another one. Ooh, lots of different colors. All right, let's see what we got here. This is, holy cow, look how sick this disc looks. So this is Prototype Time-Lapse V3. And then I assume these are Prototype Time-Lapse V2s. Okay. Hey, these look really good. So my problem was that on the older time lapses, this shoulder here was always pretty significantly high to create like a kind of dome. And then the top was relatively flat. This is one of the early runs of time-lapse, is the special edition, and you can see how it goes up and then flat. And we tried to create more of a gradual up to then just a tiny bit of flat on top, just to have more of that pop top. Yeah, you can instantly hear. Okay, this one is, you gotta pop the edges to get any pop. Yeah. Okay. All right, feeling wise, I honestly can't really tell how they're gonna fly. So we have to just go to a field and check these and compare them to the older runs. And I also have a couple of the original prototypes, which flew basically exactly how I wanted them to. But that's the game we play. It's not always easy to recreate prototypes, as we've all learned multiple times. But here we go. We have V2s and V3s, and I'll see you at the field. Welcome to the field. I am throwing into a slight headwind, and we'll just go through these with you guys. The original prototype, what I tested about 2 years ago, flew like this. Basically, perfect. And then we tried to recreate that, and this is the first run prototype, which was a limited release. And we had to deal with this. Basically, complete meat hooks, even into a headwind. And we tried to tweak it a bit in the stock run, which you can see flew a little straighter, but still on the very overstable side, and just didn't really want to fly. And this is my first ever shot with the retooled version that I just unboxed today. And this is version 2, which is the more stable one of the two new retooled ones, and gave that second one a nice height, flipped up nicely, and that flew basically like a perfect 12 speed for my arm speed into a slight headwind. Version 3, didn't really know what to expect and quickly learned it's not really a headwind disc, but gave that second shot more height. It hyzer flipped perfectly, finished straight, and that thing bombed. Alright, I just went through my first set of throws here, and overall, first impressions, I can say they feel significantly better in the hand. So that's the major plus that I really was looking for. And then 2, the V2s fly maybe a hair straighter than the original stock run of time-lapses. I'm talking about neutron time-lapses only. And then the V3 had significant turn to them. I'm throwing in a bit of a headwind, so I'm going to throw them back in the other direction. Enjoy those shots. All right, let's try this again. Into a slight tailwind. This is version 2, which just crushes. Maybe still a bit on the overstable side since I'm throwing these pretty hard. Just trying it again. Slight hyzer, release. Decent height. But I could tell off the bat that these are probably the money run for me personally. Here I'm showing the stock run again. Kind of similar in flight, maybe a hair more overstable still, but just doesn't go as far. That was very noticeable. Like the new ones would go like 30 to 60 feet further consistently. And here's V3 again, like a perfect hyzer flip disc, which is crazy to say about a time lapse. Pretty money. Here's the comparison again to the original prototypes, which is what we were trying to recreate right from the get-go. Just a perfect flight. I found this in the field. Shout out to other people doing field work. All right, so prototype version 2 flies exactly like what my arm speed needs. Something that is still pretty overstable, not quite like the first run of stock time lapses we had, but still enough that you can trust it in the wind, can handle some arm speed and power, torque resistant. So that would be your pro version of the time lapse, I'd call it. And then the V3 might be just the people's favorite, if you know what I mean. I could throw it on some hyzer. These are like brand new discs, so straight out of the box. Hyzer release, they would flip up and carry and probably go further than any other time lapse ever has. So I need to make some phone calls. All right, video done. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you can get excited about this upcoming release as much as I am. I'm gonna throw these straight in my bag, and we're headed to Europe pretty soon. So by man's, I think, wow, success. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe as always, and I'll throw in a little shot of the day for you guys. So I'll see you soon. Peace. Come on.